This makes me feel so bad about myself every time I come up here.
Setting boundaries is a very important skill in our life. If something is hurting you, something is upsetting you, try to build that boundary as early as possible so that it doesn't snowball. If not, the person will be thinking,
I've always done this, and I thought you're okay with it.
and then actually you're not. Talk about it at the start before you just get very resentful. Hi, if you don't really know, my name is
Bao.
my handle is Bao the Pigeon. So today's topic is about setting boundaries, and it's something that I've struggled with my entire life. If you don't set boundaries in your life, right, this will build resentment in your relationship. Having read 7 principles of making marriage work, if you start to resent your partner and it builds up, right, there will come a point when you don't even want to resolve anything anymore. At the end of the day, both of you are the ones that get. It's good to set certain boundaries at the start. When you realize, hey, this person is crossing my boundaries,
Speak up as early as possible.
and sometimes you feel very bothered because other people are actually not affected by this particular thing, and then you are, and then you just feel, okay, am I like a jerk or feeling this way? Boundary setting, right? Different people have different limits. So always know what is affecting you. The first thing is to know what your boundaries are. If not, how are you going to set them?
Huh? How do you know what to set if you don't know?
That's why the first step for everything is always to journal. Journal down what triggers you, what takes you off.
What irks you?
What is the one thing that someone does that really affects you, really hurts you? At the start when I set boundaries, right, I feel very guilty setting my expectations. Say if I'm driving, right, I really hate it when someone teaches me how to drive. Especially like I'm doing them a favor, fetching them from a place to another, and then they want to point out something about
my driving.
That's where I draw the line when someone was actually trying to tell me.
Oh yeah, I think you should do it this way instead.
I really snapped. The way that it came out was
Wrong?
I should wash my tone.
I was doing my best to set a boundary, but in doing so,
I feel very guilty.
and the person, an old person, so you know, not very receptive, and they think that we are trying to scold them or something. Especially when boundaries are not set, right? Things make you feel terrible. That's where you really know you need to set boundaries. If people have been always overstepping their boundaries with you, say you don't want to do something and then you are guilt-tripped into doing something, or like someone is always late. I have a video on how to be punctual if you are the late friend, and it's right here. How you will know what your boundaries are is when you journal down exactly how you feel when someone does a certain thing. My ego is affected, okay? When I drive and then you point out something that is related to my driving, I will feel like you don't really trust me as a driver, you get what I mean? So not only my ego is affected, I also feel like very hurt that you don't have faith in me. You made me feel this tall. You have to be very sensitive when setting this boundary, especially with people who are extra sensitive, like my parents. What I mean is, people who are older, in general, they may be more sensitive to this kind of things because you know you have that
Hierarchy.
My daughter should respect me. Can't talk back to me.
especially in Asian cultures. I'm a Chinese, so identify where you need to build boundaries with whoever it is. Pay attention to situations where your needs are not met or you feel very drained after a particular interaction, and then you can ask yourself,
What if you dream? What do I need to tell this person?
do some
Planning.
because it is, as I've said, a delicate issue. Second step, communicate your boundary clearly and assertively, but not fiercely, okay? Tone is a little bit different. I should give you a little system. So boundary setting is, it bothers me or like it makes me very upset. You know, how does it make you feel when you do this? Why do you need this boundary? Okay, explain yourself because this is a loved one. You don't want to leave them hanging. I know like there are people who say,
What do you have to explain yourself?
please explain yourself to people who matter to you. They should understand what's going on. Okay, because sometimes they really don't know. And then the last part is your solution. Next time, can you please blah 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 blah. If not, what are you gonna do? If you don't do this, what are the consequences? For example, someone always calls you at 11 p.m. when your bedtime is 10:30 p.m. You want to say something like,
Hey, it really bothers me when you call me in the middle of the night.
and I really need my full uninterrupted 8 hours sleep. I would prefer if you call me before 10:30. If this continues, I will not pick up, or like I will block your calls, or I would prefer not to hang out anymore. You can also don't need to say the last part. They may see it as a threat, maybe just the first few parts. Hopefully that part will be good enough, and then only if it doesn't work, then you can start your thread. Okay, the third step is related to the optional part that I just talked about, which is the consequence. This one you actually need a little bit of
Tough love.
whoever it is. If it's really affecting your life and then they continue to do it, then whatever consequence you have said, stick to it. It is already not easy to say the first part, okay? And if you have already say the first part, okay, congratulate yourself. If they still continue to push your boundaries, right, it comes off as being quite inconsiderate, as if you live for that person, as if your life has to
Revolve around that person.
if they don't respect that, whatever consequence that you have set.
Stick to it.
The next step that I have to talk about is prioritize yourself and your well-being and not let people
Guilt trip you.
into doing something that you actually don't want to. Guilt tripping is a big thing, okay?
Parents love to use it.
It's very hard, but put yourself first. Setting boundaries is a very big form of self-love. Let me say now, you always have a choice. If a person really loves you and cares for you, right, the person really will respect your boundary. That's for like maybe 90% to 95% of the time. The leftover 5% is not because they don't love you, but it's more like they really place themselves above you. Really consider not having this person in your life anymore. It's not an easy thing to do. And if that is not possible, because you know this is real life, this is not a fairy tale, right? Then at least set a boundary for another thing. Say this time is for
Me only.
and I'm going to recharge. Find time for yourself to reflect. The last step is to also respect other people's.
Boundaries in return.
For the people who are not respecting your boundaries, right, you can do a little no reverse. You can start asking them
Am I overstepping any boundaries right now?
so that they know this topic is important to you. If people are willing to communicate their boundaries with you, right, it also opens up a conversation for boundaries. Yep, show empathy when people say that they need boundaries. Don't need to press, no need to ask. Just say you are ready to let them talk about it when they want to. Have some.
EQ.
I made a video about EQ and it's right here. So try to grow this skill. It may not come out perfect at the start, but as time goes on, learn how to bring it up delicately. They love you, they respect your boundary, okay? And they don't, you know what to do.
Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
So if you like this video, give it a like. If you like me, you can subscribe. And if you want to see more content, let me know what you want to see in the comments down below. I will see you in the next video. Bye!